Dittos for Kiddos is a children's consignment sale business, and it happens twice a year. We have a spring-summer sale and a fall-winter sale, and I started about 10.5 years ago in the gym at Abilene Christian Schools with about 30 consigners, and now we are at the fairgrounds, the Taylor County Fairgrounds, and we have 2 buildings, over 20,000 square feet of storage, self-store, and we have about over 500 consigners and about 30,000 items every sale. And so it used to be a couple of weeks out of the year business, and now I spend a good 2 months on each sale and then sometime in between also working on it. About 6 or 7 years ago, my business was growing enough that it was taking lots of time to do everything manually, and so I started looking, doing some research on the internet, looking for software, and at that point I was also thinking about having a website, and so I talked to my brother Chad, and he's a computer whiz, and so I talked to him and showed him the websites that I had found and the software, and I asked him to look at that and tell me what he thought, and he said, "Oh, I can write something like that." And so he built my first website with my input, of course, and then he wrote the software. He wrote a software that runs on my website for consigners to enter their items online. And then he wrote a point-of-sale software that prints barcode labels, and then we scan those barcodes and have electronic checkout. When we converted to using the website and a database, people go to the website to sign up to be a consigner, and then that creates their own inventory page, which they access by a username and password, and then they'll enter all their items they want to sell online. And after they've entered those items, there's a button on there for them to click that sends me an email and says they're ready for their barcode labels to be printed. And we just use a special label that we researched and found, and we have these sheets of labels, and there are 15 labels per page, and I print their barcode labels on here, and then they take those labels and they put them on index cards, and there are instructions on how they need to hang their clothes and tag them, and then they prepare all their items, and then they bring them on a weekend. We have about 3 days of item delivery, and the consigners that have registered and gotten their items ready will bring them to us, and we have a team of workers that looks through everything and checks it, and we are not a garage sale. We want things that are gently used, they're not stained, they're not missing parts or pieces, and we try to check all that, and then the consigner will put their items out on the sales floor, and it's set up just like you would go into a store by size and gender. And then when the item delivery is over, then we have about 100 workers that volunteer. Some of them are paid, but most of them are volunteers, and they volunteer, and their big perk is that they get to shop the night before everybody else shops. So they get first choice after our family does, of course. And then they will work 12 to 18 hours per sale, and when the sale is over, then we sort everything back into consignor number, and if you want to come back and pick up your items, if you're a consignor, you can. If not, we donate them. Star Ferguson is gracious to come and pick up everything, and she sends what can go to Zambia, what they can use to Zambia, and then she takes the other things to some other places that are local community places that will benefit from the unsold items. And then 2 weeks after the sale, I mail out checks to the consigners, and that's kind of the process for a consigner.
Through the years, I have taken on a lot of different roles with Dittos for Kiddos. My very first role was to help Carole receive the items that were being brought and kind of look through those things and decide what met the standards for the sale and hand the things back to the people that we were not going to take and visit with them about how much we appreciated their participating and make sure that they felt good about coming, and also to get them excited about getting to shop and spread the word. I do a lot of processing with Carole, thinking through the way things have gone, thinking through the way we'd like things to be, and maybe brainstorming or dreaming about possibilities. I also have taken on opportunities to visit with people who are workers. We've had a large staff of volunteers who've come on since the sale has grown, and I get to visit with them about what their job might be for the evening or the day that they've come to work, and help them understand how they can best participate and help making the day go well. And I've kind of been known as maybe a point person to answer questions if Carole's not available. And I'm really good at saying, I don't know, but let me go find Carole. I've gotten to observe a lot about Carole. On a personal level, I've observed that she is extremely considerate and sensitive to the feelings of anyone who might want to participate in Dittos, either as a shopper or a consignor or a friend just wanting to be a part of it. She thinks about how everybody will take every decision she makes, and she's been doing that for 10 years, and she started out that way. I've also observed that she's a fantastic mom, because she goes to great lengths to make sure that her family's provided for while she's so busy doing it, and also that her kids could get neat stuff from there. Of course, half of them now are outgrown the size of things offered at the sale, but she was always excited about the opportunity to find things for them. And I've also observed that she's willing to think outside of the box and take what might look like a problem and turn it into an opportunity for change that might better the business. And so she's creative and willing to meet a challenge as an opportunity.
Okay. At Dittos, I've started out years ago just helping her check in this stuff and check the quality and go through. And then as the sales got larger and the lines got longer, I showed up one Saturday and the lines were kind of uncontrolled, and I just said, what do you want me to do? And she really didn't have a job for me to do, so I just got in the line and started telling people when to go up to the register, and that has kind of become my job every time, is to be crowd control and make sure everybody's happy and just make sure the line is flowing good and that they're going to the registers. And I do that when the sale's going on, but before the sale I also go and I still help check in and check this stuff and make sure the quality's good enough to accept. And then when the lines are smaller, I help at the cash register, and just wherever she needs me, I just help. The one thing that impresses me the most about Carole as she's in her business mode and at work at Dittos is her calmness and how she deals with people and how she deals with computers breaking down or printers breaking down in the middle of the big huge midnight madness and people waiting in line. And I would be frantic, but I am always impressed at her calm demeanor, and she just gets it done. And you can go to her with, oh no, this situation is happening, and oh no, what are we going to do? And she's very calm, and I've never really told her, but I think that I'm very thankful that she's the boss and not me.
I think Dittos for Kiddos has blessed lots of families in Abilene, and I hope that we will continue to be able to minister to families and bless families. And also, it has been a big blessing to our family, and I would hope that it would continue to bless our family in more ways than just money. Our kids have learned about running a business, and they've learned how to work and about making money and being frugal and being good stewards of what God has given you. And so I hope that it will continue to teach my children, and then someday when they have their own children, that maybe it will be a way that they can be involved in Dittos for Kiddos here, or maybe one of them might even start their own consignment sale business in another town someday. So you never know where the Lord is going to lead you. And I just hope and pray that everything that we're doing with our business is the way He would have us live. And so that's pretty much the most important thing.